Why not? We go live, right? Let's go live across the whole platform, Discord, X, and I believe we have, what else do we have? Live as well, a few other ones. So yeah, we're here this morning, Monday morning. Good morning, guys. It's been a great weekend. Huh? We refreshed, ready to go. Hope you guys can see my screen clearly. Let me get out of here. Of course, we got to look at our little GameStop. Over the weekend, we got a nice pop from Friday to pre-market, right? Pre-market, we had this gap up from 27 up to like $30, $31, went as high as 31 and change. Really interesting thing to look at, right? Because we had the Roaring Kitty coming on Friday on that live stream. I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know, but that was a little bit rough, I thought, of a stream. But you know what? He's a little bit rusty. This is his first stream back for what, 3 years. So I would be a little bit rusty too, especially if you're drinking a few beers. So we did get that just drop off, right? From Friday all the way from pre-market. We dropped off from as high as like 60s all the way down to the 20s on Friday. That was the low. So I will be looking at this play, GameStop equity side. I won't play option side because the IV is just probably going to crush you anyways, unless we get some big moves. But I think I put this red line here. This is going off of Friday's action. And I say if we can get above, say, $32, then I think there could be a nice pop right back to maybe around 37, 38. And that's kind of my game plan. It's always good to come on a bit earlier and plan out a few trades for when the market opens. So I will be looking at the equity side, playing just shares, right? Just buying shares of the actual stock. And I'll be looking at playing this. If we get above 32, closing like a 3 to 5 minute candle above $32, I would play this up as a day trade. It will be clearly a day trade on this one. But I would play this up to about $37 to $38. That's how I would play GameStop if we get any momentum today. What else do I have here? Another one that's, this is a swing trade that we played in Discord, but this is a clear classic, just rinse and repeat. This is Mobile Eye Global. And this one back here, this is how we were playing it in this channel as well. And we always love playing in channels, right? Because we can also play off the bottom of the channels to the top and then, take our risk off. If we decide to get rejection, we can sell and take profit. Or if we break through, we just play more upside. But this one was clear, just downwards channel, just up and down in the channel, then a breakthrough, right? And this is what we played in the group. And then again, we got the same thing happen again right here. Another channel formed. We start coming down to this 52-week low again, and then pop right back over this channel and back to the sky again. So we're back up to $32. Our entry in the group in the Discord was 25.47 was my buy. So we got in towards the bottom of the channel, and now we're up about 26% in the matter of 1 week. So it can clearly show you like swings can be very effective even on the short period of time too. You don't have to always hold for weeks or months to trade swings. You can, some of them work out within days. So always, that's a misconception right there too, thinking swings going to take too long. Some of them don't. Adobe has earnings this week, but there's also some customer backlash. I heard about, I don't know what you guys read about Adobe, but I heard that they take the rights of basically of what you're doing on their software. They basically take the rights of what you do, and they take ownership of whatever you do on their platform. And you have to agree to this when you sign up. So there's a lot of customer backlash when that comes when it comes to that, right? Because ultimately it's your business, it's all your work, and then they're basically taking ownership of everything for free, and you're paying for their software. So I can understand why there's backlash there happening within the customer, portion of it, and I believe that Adobe may get more pullback. Let's have a look at Adobe. Let me bring Adobe up. If I know what Adobe's is, Adobe. There we go. Let's have a look on Adobe's platform. Weekly. I always like to go to the weekly here. Let's have a look at the weekly. It's pretty bearish because we're underneath these SMAs. We're all underneath everything here. The 50. I got the 50 EMA up here in the EMA 21. So we're clearly trending underneath all those moving averages. Where is? And we don't have much. I mean, right here, we've got this volume shelf right here holding it up around 445. But if it lose that, like that area right here, if we decide to lose these lows of here back when, what was this, a couple of weeks ago? What price was that? 433.97 was the low. So I think if we take out that area, then it looks dismal for Adobe. I mean, if we take out these recent lows, there's not much volume right here holding this up, and this can come all the way down to the probably the high 300s. Is where we may pick up some support there. So I think it's either a make or break with earnings at this point. So we really need to get above. It's got a long way, like 510 to be bullish. So that's still $50 move to the upside for me to actually say that we're going to come out of this bearish move that we're seeing, and we're going more bullish. So that's a big move, right? That's a $50 move to the upside. We need to get above that, and there's a lot of volume right here going to be acting as resistance. So we need to get above 510, I'd say, for us to say, okay, well, we're going bullish, and we may start retesting highs again up here, up in the 600s again. So over 510, I would aim for the 600s, but right now it's looking pretty bearish. And if earnings really do suck, then it's coming down to the highest 300s. I believe it will, to this area here. So we're looking about 380s. Oh, you guys hear me okay? I don't know. Maybe my internet sucks. Sometimes it does. My bad. I want to take off volume because that's up here. Let's look at the EMAs on here too. Let's take off this. Okay, so what have we got here? The MA. Okay, so we got the MA20 and the MA50 on the chart. Even we're getting a big sell-off now on Adobe. To be honest, we're about to hit 930, and we're getting quite the sell-off on Adobe. So let's look at NVDA, right? Because NVDA had the forward split. Let's see what's going on with NVDA. So NVIDIA had the forward split. So if you had one share at 1,200, you got, I believe you probably should have 12 shares. Let's see what, it's kind of flat right now on NVIDIA. Let's go to the 1 minute chart on the video. It's going to be a really weird day, I think, for NVIDIA. to be honest with you. We got, like, right now we have a floor around 119 for the day based on pre-market. Where did that go? It disappeared on me. Where did that go? Come on. All right. I don't see anything moving on my screen. All right. Well, that's weird. NVDA is now not even showing anything up here, so I have no candlesticks. I see some flickering right here on the open, arse, and bid, but I don't see no candles whatsoever on the chart. So I wonder what is glitching on Webull, like always. There we go, it's better. All right, we got it back. So NVIDIA, I got a level here. If we take out these pre-market lows, we go lower. And I would say if we can get above, there's a lot of choppiness though. I would clearly just take out pre-market high and then we go high, I would say. So, I mean, it's a pretty much like a $2 range from the high to low. And you know, NVIDIA can clearly do that. So I'll be looking at it to take out these pre-market lows to go lower. And if you're looking to play NVIDIA, like if we do decide to close, like I would like to close some candles below this area first. I would go maybe, let me look at the contracts. Let me see what we got here on contract wise. June 14th. You can probably go like around like 118 puts for the end of the week. And if we go over 121 and we start closing over 121, then we can go calls. June 14th, we can probably do 122 calls. So we got, if we break over, which we are trying to break over now, 122 calls for the 14th. Like to see some candles close above 121 before I say, yeah, let's hop in. And then if we close underneath those pre-market lows, we go 118 puts for the end of the week. Pretty easy, pretty simple stuff, right? And these contracts are pretty cheap. They're around like, $200 a contract. NVIDIA is notorious for not being cheap, the contracts, but this week, just because of the forward split and everything, they come in a lot cheaper. So we're looking at around $2 a contract, $2.20 a contract. Good stuff there. And Discord, CrowdStrike calls. Could have been profit. Yeah, sometimes you end up kind of panic selling, and that's when you can start you got to practice, and practice makes perfect. And a lot of emotions come into trading. So if you can kind of learn to cut that emotions out, follow the trend that it's given you, and stop cutting yourself short on the winners, you're going to start seeing some better returns. And that's kind of what happens, right? I mean, a lot of newer traders, they cut their winnings short, and then when they're in losses, they don't cut the losses quick. They just let the losses kind of build up. So if you can kind of fix that, where you let the runners go and you cut the losses quicker, you're going to start seeing some better returns overall on your account size. That can be an easy process that you can work on. You can paper trade and kind of learn how to do that too. So NVIDIA is just kind of flat, right? I mean, who's going to buy NVIDIA at 120? I mean, there's going to be, it's now available for a lot of different traders out there that couldn't afford it before. And I mean, you could say fractional, you can buy fractional shares nowadays. I hate to buy fractional shares in anything. I like to hold one share of something, not like 0.255%, you know? So I want to hold a whole share, and I believe this is going to bring a lot of new mix of traders into NVIDIA itself. I believe there will be a pullback. Now the float is going to be a lot more now. The float is huge. We're looking at the float being 23 billion. When you forward split, the actual float gets bigger, right? It doesn't shrink like when you reverse split, things shrink to smaller low float positions. Now, when you forward split, your float essentially gets bigger. So it's a huge float. And I believe there will be some kind of pullback for better entry. And, you know, maybe it's the 80s, around the $80 range. I think it could definitely see that area before we start ripping back up again. Just like Amazon and all of those when they forward split. They came down, Apple came down before they started ripping back up higher again. So if you're trying to get NVIDIA, just, you know, take it easy maybe today and just kind of let it play out. And then once we start holding levels and we really start seeing more volume come in, we can add more shares to our account. Chipotle split on the 26th. Any thoughts? Again, it's going to be a forward split. So the float gets huge again. And there's always like followers. Like there's a cult following in Chipotle. I mean, it's at 3,000 a share. I mean, there's a lot of buyers of Chipotle at these levels. Even at 3,000, people were scooping it up on the dips when they announced the forward split. So I just going to be a smart trader with Chipotle. Just let it ride out for like a week or so, let it kind of stabilize, and then once we get those clean levels that it holds, I may buy maybe some leap calls, or I might buy some shares in it. But it's super expensive. I mean, 3,000. I don't know what the split is exactly, but still going to be pretty expensive, I would imagine. Duco, it's Monday morning. Don't let me get the paddle out so early in the week with that kind of comment. All right, so I mean, the video is holding the MA20. We got the 50 in the blue, so green is the MA20, and the green is the MA20, and the blue is the 50. So we are holding that level up. VWAP. It's just back and forth here. Look at the little wedge that it's in right now. It's very tight little wedgie that it's in at this point. So back and forth. And the chart for the chart for NVIDIA hasn't updated on Webull, so it's going to look really funky until probably tomorrow, to be honest. You're only going to see the chart pretty clearly on like the 1 minute, 2 minute. The bigger time frames they're not updated. What else we got here on the list? Ooh. See the top gainers for the day. You're just going to be patient here. You may be able to trade this within this range all day. I mean, unless we just get through here or we break down under here, this may just stay in this very tight range between 119 and 121 all day long, which you can still take advantage of. You can still play it off the top, rejection down, and then once we pick up the bottom, then we can play it up. So I mean, that is also a way to play it, right? Horizontal channel, pretty easy to trade. Adobe had a little drop, right? But so Adobe trade out there, and you can probably swing. You can probably do some option swings on this. You can play this above 470. You could probably get a couple of weeks out on some calls and play it back up towards 500. We see that rejection right here. This was support, and then we got rejection Friday on that level. So I would say it's pretty important level above 470. Then I would play calls maybe a couple of weeks out, play some calls up to around 500. And then I wouldn't mess to the downside unless we take out that low of that recent low. So once we get under 433-ish and close under there, then I would play it down lower to probably the 400 range, or maybe to the 380 range. You said they had earnings this week, so it can definitely travel down to that level or up to those levels pretty quickly. On earnings. Recently, they just got a lot of downgrades. It looks like today we've seen cut targets. They're all cutting price targets, downgrades for Adobe. So they've been hit with a few downgrades today. So under this level, take some puts a couple of weeks out, maybe a month out. Depends how cheap they are. Depends what kind of capital you have to trade it. But if it's a clean trade, then it does. If it's $500 a contract, you can buy one, and if you're following the trade and the trend, it's going to make money for you either way, right? It's about the percentage, so you're going to make money on it either way, even if you can only afford one. So once we take out this low, I play it down lower. And then if we get above 470, I play it back towards 490 to 500. I want to retest. I'll probably play it up to retest these areas here. So obviously on the way up, you can, if it gets rejection on the way up, you can take your profits early. But this is where I would play it to if we break above 470. I play it to 489 and then 496 retest. And then if we get above that, we have a few more levels up here in the low 500s. Let's go back to NVDA, see what NVDA is doing. It's all about patience too, right? Waiting for the perfect entry for a day trade. You don't need to rush into anything. Wait for the setup and then trade it. Let's see, the video is now selling off. Let me see. I'm going to pull up those contracts just in case we lose those that low. So I'd be looking for take out that 119. Put this up. I'll put it on my watch list already. 118 puts. So they're going for about 225 a contract, 225 a contract. So we're either going to hold this level here where you can see buyers trying to step in and hold this pre-market low. We could definitely bounce right from here and take it right back to the top of the channel again. This is going to be a very important level. We lose 119, we go lower. Look at those buyers stepping in. Oh, it does update it. I didn't see that. Perfect. Weeble's always creating these new damn options in their chart. So it's adjusted now, so it should be fixed, right? Yeah, so NVIDIA's fixed now. Thank you. Bought a house. Just waiting for this entry from the video. Here we go. We're selling that one. Let's see if we can get below and close some candles below that pre-market. Here we go. We've got the sell-off here. So we're looking at this level here, and we're looking at this pre-market level here. Let's put these wicks in as well. Let's put this wick low in right here from pre-market. That's that level. Some good selling coming in right here. You see the red candlesticks at the bottom, the volume sticks. Got some good sellers trying to push into this name right now, into NVIDIA. Oops. Let's go back. So if we close under this blue line, close some candles under here, not just wicks, I'm inclined to play downside move. Here we go. If anyone's ready for that play. You can see clearly we waited, right, guys? I mean, perfect. We waited for an entry. We didn't rush into this trade. We also got a bearish signal here on the super trend indicator on Webull that gives us a little bit more confirmation on this engulfing bearish candle. Don't let the price tag fool you, guys. It's $118 a share, but it's forward split price. It was $1,200. It's still sitting up there around that range. Super high risk to try to play more upside. You don't want to catch a FOMO and then just take losses. I believe it's just going to do something similar to Apple post split. It went down from like 100, I think it was like 115 when it post forward split, came down to around 100, 105. Apple did before it started going higher. I think that's just going to happen with NVIDIA. Those contracts are up around 20, 25% if you grab them on the breakdown there. Now we're down about $1.20 from our entry, right? So it's definitely paying off, these puts. Markets are all pretty red at the moment. Dow down about 0.05%. We got S&P down about 0.25. NASDAQ down 0.38%. So we got the markets pulling back today on a Monday. Anyone grab NVIDIA puts? Good stuff if you did. Obviously, more risky of a trade would have been right here, right? On the break of the wedge would have been more risky of a trade, but I like that risk myself, and these do work out pretty well. So that would have been a lot more risk once we broke down under the wedge, but that reward would have been just a little bit more sweeter than it looks now for if we entered down here. Come on. Give me some buying power, please. Give me some buying power today. Okay, 12,000. Perfect. Sellers coming in. Sellers wrecking the actual chart today. Super oversold in 2 minute. We got RSI sitting at 25, super oversold. I'd expect some kind of bounce. Let's see if we get it. So if we compare, look, guys, we're up in about 30, 40% profits now on June 14th puts, right? So 118, clearly we're in that money now. So those puts are printing pretty well. Like if we go, let's have a look what Apple's doing. Apple's also running down. Apple's has the big event today, right? So they have the WWDC. I believe they have that today. Isn't it starting today? Live coverage. Let's have a look. When does that start? Begins 1 p.m. Eastern. That's normal people time is 1 p.m. Eastern, right? And the other people time doesn't really matter to me so much. But normal people time, it's at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time, if you're on the West Coast. I don't know Central. Sorry about you guys. I just don't know Central time. But yeah, let's go back to Apple and see where they split. It's always good to go back to other stocks, especially in that sector, and see how they did. So this is the forward split that happened in 2020, right here. So forward split was the next day. So as you can see, we kind of topped out at 135 for Apple. Then we fell down. all the way down to 100. So this was forward split moves to about 100, and then we held that 100 range, and then we took off from that 100, and that was around like 2 weeks worth, right? So we just pulled back after forward split, and then we held that around $100 range, and then from there we didn't go back, and we ripped up high from there. So if you think about it, that's around like a 30% drop, right? From this 135 to 100. So we dropped good decent chunk there. So if NVDA, I'm just saying, if we take that into the NVIDIA's account, then I would think we'd come back down to at least $100 or lower. Nice engulfing candle. Mountain Central. Can we just have one time? I mean, isn't there like an island like in the middle between Alaska and Russia, and one island's like the next day, and they're right next to each other. So it's just crazy, the whole time difference and things. It just, the islands are right next to each other, literally, and one of them is 1 day ahead because of, you know, they're on that side, on the Russian side. I bought 4 stocks on the group challenge already. I haven't checked that out yet. So our paper trading challenge is now live, guys. If you joined, it's live. So do not YOLO into any trades, okay? Just go to your trading plan that you have, that you've been trading all along, or that you want to work on, right? Because essentially you can also work on new strategies. That's what it's there for. Easily you can practice it in our challenge, or you can just perfect your strategy that you have already, and perfect it as when I say that is that your entries maybe work on your entries better, work on your stop losses, maybe work on your profit taking, things like that. But ultimately, you know, the winner gets a prize. It's around 3 months long. So we have about 20, I think around 20 people in there so far. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I want to see who comes out on top. Pookie, I hope you don't win. I hope someone new wins, okay? We all know you can trade, buddy. You can win a one-on-one with me, Pooks. You get that every day. All right, NVIDIA. Back to NVIDIA. Not out of the woods yet for calls. I think we've got to get back up to this level and back into this channel to say, okay, let's start retesting 121. Clearly, we're not there yet. We're getting some nice pops because we're oversold, but we also could just curl right back down and make new lows for the day. So we're not out the woods. If you're trying to buy shares or trying to buy calls on the reversals, we're still trending down. Still got lower highs. Still got lower lows. We gotta see the opposite. How's Snowflake doing? What's Snowflake up to? GameStop down 4%. A lot of red on my watch list today. Boyle, which is, you know me, love to play in that natural gas. Boyle's doing well, which is the bullish ETF for natural gas. But I think it's going to be topping out here shortly, and basing it off of last year's history. Natural gas topped out in the 3s and then started reversing back down again. So Boyle, if you're in Boyle, which we did We did trade it recently from the 13s. If you're in Boyle, maybe think about adjusting that plan, raising up those stops a little bit, maybe take some profit. But I don't have a position now. I took my profit already. But I would look for maybe topping out natural gas and then playing cold as a reversal to the upside, which is the inverse, right? So it's the bearish ETF is cold, KOLD. And once natural gas tops out again, cold will start reversing to the upside. It's 2x, so it's a little bit more risk. But if you're following the trend correctly, then you're going to make 2 times and you're going in the right direction. So you're going to see a lot more return on 2x's on the ETFs, but they come with a lot more risk, right? So just be careful there. I got 22 UNG calls for 19, up 102% so far. Natural gas play. Man, I love natural gas. You can literally play natural gas all year round, just up and down. And very easy to just, wait for the trends as well, because normally summertime, natural gas kind of creeps up a little bit because also it's used for AC as well. So natural gas is transformed into electric, which is also for AC. So natural gas creeps up towards winter time, and then once winter hits and there's more mild of a winter like we've been getting for the past 2 years, which I expect to be even more milder this next winter, then you buy the reverse. You buy cold through the winter, which is the negative ETF, right? The bearish ETF, and you play that through winter, and just keep following the weekly reports about the natural gas usage. And if they keep adding to storage, which has historically been super high, the highest it's ever been, if they keep adding to it, the natural gas itself should fall lower in price, just because they have way too much in storage. They have too much supply, not enough demand. You're full of it, Lee. God, it's always hot in Florida. And I'm not, giving you guys BS here. Natural gas, I've been studying natural gas every year for the past 3-4 years, and I've made money on it. And then, if I'm wrong, I cut the one side and I just flip it to the other side and play the other side and make my losses back plus more profit. So that's when we talk about taking losses. When you're incorrect with the trend, you got to take those losses a little bit quicker and then flip it and follow that trend, and you're making money back plus some. But NVDA, again, we're getting rejection at that pre-market lows. We need to see it get over these 2 red lines for a more positive move to the upside. Yeah, I did smash Boyle, yeah, from 13s. Tesla, let's have a look at Tesla. What's Tesla doing? That pay package vote comes this week, right? So I'm telling you guys, if they do not agree to this pay package, because let me tell you, Elon Musk made this company as big as it is now, that he made it like this. He put all his heart and soul into meeting all the goals that were put out in the pay package. He met every single goal plus some. He made the company for what it is now. And if they decide to not pay him, and if he does leave the company, this Tesla is going to burn to the ground. This not going to hold up in the 170s anymore. It's going to burn to the ground. It's going to come all the way down to retest those lows. And this is very important to pay attention to those pay package votes. I'm not sure if it's this week. I believe it is. If it gets denied, wait for that free fall to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and especially if if Elon decides to just cut out, move on, bigger and better things. What makes Tesla special? That's the question. And I think if it comes back and they vote against the pay package for him, then play some put. I'm going to play puts. This is going to burn to the ground. So at least test this low in the 130s, I think. So if they decide to vote yes, then it changes the whole perspective, like going forward. And I think we start pushing back to the 200s again. So it really depends on this pay package and their vote. So have this on your radar this week. Tesla executives rally in support of Elon pay package. Yes, critical for Tesla's success in AI. At least some of them are not dumb. Look out, Tesla Neo's coming for your lunch. Wow, you got a lot of debt to pay off before you get that lunch, bud. Neo. When is the vote? Does anyone know when the vote is? Full of natural gas. Well, it was originally, like, I watched a video of Cathie Woods. I'm sorry, I had to go through that horrible video the weekend of Cathie Woods explaining some stuff about his pay package and how she's for the pay package and why it's 56 billion and not 2 billion, which they first agreed on, just because it's like, everything that he's done up to now, that's what it adds up to. Yeah. With the 2 billion that they agreed on before is totally different to what he got the company to now. So the pay package increased a lot due to that. To be honest, Cathie Woods made me fall asleep. I literally dropped my phone on my bed and fell asleep to listening to Cathie Woods. But I got that information from her at least. Okay, June 13th is the vote. So that's Thursday. So at the end of the week, we're going to have fireworks with Tesla, guys. Let's do it. It's probably going to stay pretty flat until then, I would imagine. On a daily time frame, we've got clear trend line resistance, right, from end of April all the way down to now. So we've got this trend line resistance. So we need to get above this area to see more upside. So above 180, then I think we start exploding back to the high 180s to 190s again once we get above there. But right now we're still downtrending. We got the wicks to the top as well. So there's pretty strong selling up there as well. So I think it will stay flat until we get that vote information. That's my guess. Now, do we get the information, like the actual, if they voted yes or no, do we get it that day on the 13th? Or is that when they vote and then it takes like a couple of days? Does anyone know? Good question, right? I'm bringing the questions to you guys. Getting some good action in the video. I'm just going to stick to the video for this whole stream. Think everyone's watching the video. There's a lot of volume here coming into the video. So we're trying to push over pre-market lows again. I'll go more bullish if we can get over, I might as well say over 120. Once we get over this 50, the EMA 50, SMA 50, sorry. Once we get over that level 120, our play calls up to 121 at least. And then if we get rejection at the MA20, which is green, or VWAP, which is down here as well, if we get rejection right here, then I play some puts on the reversal to the downside. So I wait for it to clear the MA20 and the MA50. So above 120, I play it up. And then rejection right here on the MA20 or the VWAP, I play back down once we get back down here again. Same contracts I would play. 118 puts for Friday. Once we get above this entry right here, this line, the MA50 for an entry, it'd be my risk to reward, basically a 1-for-1 reward there. Day trade, you at least leave 1-for-1 on the day trade. And then if we enter puts, if we get rejection into puts, I'll flip it around. This will be my target. And pretty much my stop will be if we get above the MA50. So there's a lot more reward if we lose this red line and play more downside. The reward here makes better sense than up here. So really depends on which direction we go is the risk and reward I'm willing to put into this. And I will put see if I can make it like that. This is my entry. So my entry would be here to play it up to here, at least here. So I'm planning out if we get above this, this will be my entry to the upside. And then if we lose this red line, I would aim for down here as my target to the downside. Entry for puts, entry for calls, blue and red. Maybe I can change this for green. That. So that's my plan for another play for NVDA. This whole middle section be a no zone for me to buy calls or puts. I'll buy calls above the green or I'll buy puts below the red. June 14th. That's my puts. That's my put contract that I would buy. And up here would be calls 120 2 calls. 14th. You can go a little bit more in the money if you want, but these are the ones that we looked at. I mean, GWAG, I mean, Tesla wouldn't be where it's at without Elon. So how much is he really worth and for the company? And I think that's what he's going to be worth, that much. Without Elon, they're just basically another Neo, right? That's what they commanded to, just like another Neo, just a regular company. So yeah, PSNY got smashed as well. And PSNY is owned, they were funded by Volvo. Now they're kind of gone by themselves and recently just got a bunch of funding. I think like $1 billion. They got some funding and their cars are decent. But it's no Tesla. Okay, guys. That's a nice rejection there again from the video. Got rejection at VWAP. VWAP is something I love to play off, and also with like the equity side, the day trading watch list that I put out, I do like to play off VWAP as well. I'm gonna put that watch list plays out maybe in an hour or so, because I did decide to cover this stream from Ethan because he's gone away for a little while. We're both like me, Ball, and Jay's gonna be covering the stream, so. I couldn't put out the watch list today because I had to set up this stream, but I will put it out in maybe an hour's time once the stream's ended, around 13 minutes. I'm gonna jump off and then put out that watch list for the day. I like Volvo's EVs. I actually like the SUV EV cars, and they're pretty safe, right? Volvo's got safe cars. Let's see what's in the green. Mentioned this on Friday. This stock BMEA. They got we do love this, and I know Pookie loves these kind of plays too. Overreactions due to like clinical holds on companies. This one got a clinical hold on Friday on their diabetic medication. So this one got a nice hold, and it went down as low as like $3.60. It was up there at like $11, $12 a share. Now, if they decide to, the FDA decide to just take that hold away and say, okay, everything looks good. We did our investigation. It wasn't related to your trials. And they basically decide to say, you can go back on your clinical trials for that drug that you were testing. This stock's going to go way back up higher again. So we've seen it over and over again. Not every single one, but it's always good to pay close attention to them. And I did trade this one off the watch list. I put this on Friday's watch list afternoon and kept my shares over the weekend. A little bit risky, but we are up around 7% from that $4 range entry that we put out on Friday. So it's up here in the 430s now. And I will be paying close attention because they have a good significant amount of cash on hand as well. So, if it was a company that their main drug was on hold, that's the only drug that they're working on, and they can't do anything right now, then I'd be concerned. And if they had no cash, I'd be even more concerned. But this company has some good cash, over 100 million in cash. It's not the only drug that they're doing trials on. So it's not like everything's not, in the hands of the FDA just for their whole company, as you can say, right? So they got a bit more going for them. So that's why I like to trade those type of companies, the ones that, okay, overreaction, one drug's on hold, but they have 3 other drugs they're working on. They have good cash, they have low liability. I like it. Let me try it. It's a little risky, right? It's speculative play, but I do come out pretty well on those ones. And on the watch list we put out Friday, you're up like 7%. NVIDIA is getting a nice push here. So the bulls, I would like to see it over the MA50, the blue line over this green line here. And then I would see it going to about 121 would be my target. This right here is a nice kind of reversal candle. We got a nice little hammer here. We got the wick at the bottom. So buy stepped in when the sellers try to pull it down, closed up higher. So that's more of a bullish candle that you want to see. And then we followed through with a nice engulfing. See what else we got out here. I am going to start positioning cold right here. It's in the 36, high 36 is down 5.8%, but I do like where it's at compared with natural gas prices. So I am going to take a position today in the 36s for cold, at least a starting position. This will be a swing trade, and I will be playing this up to at least $40. The last time we traded it on my holiday when I was in England and Ireland, we played a couple weeks ago. We grabbed it in the $38, $39 range, and we sold it over 50. So I'm looking for a rinse and repeat back to the 40s again from this $36 range, 35, 36. I'd be targeting the 40s again. Maybe take a couple of days, maybe a week or so. But that's at least 15, 20% return is what I'm aiming for. My stop will be about 10%. My target will be about 20%. There we go. Now, if this candle can close above this green line, then I think we may get a nice pump right back up to a higher day. Let's go to the 2 minute. Have a look at what's going on here. 2 minutes better entry in 2 minute. Okay, so my first buying cold for swing trade, 36.70. I'm gonna put that in my paper trading as well. Let me go to my paper trade that we just started today. I'm not gonna buy my whole position in this. Okay, we got to treat it like it's a real account. So I'm just going to trade it with a portion of that $1,000 account. So I'm gonna put around $250 into it. 7 shares. Let's see if my position got filled on the paper account too. Let's see. Pending order, still pending. If you guys are doing the paper trading account too, we're playing the $1,000 challenge there. Don't put the whole $1,000 into one share. We're trying to swing trade here. We're not trying to YOLO to win. We're, you know, if you got $1,000 account, for me, it's like, okay, I split that into two swings. Doesn't mean you have to put it all in now. You know, if there's not a stock that setups looks good for you, then don't jump into anything. All right, you can. It's always okay to be cash as well. So until you see that setup, so I'm gonna buy. Like I said, I'm gonna start my position in cold, and it's just taking forever to load. But let's see. Put it as a market buy as well. Current position, come on. Cancel order. Okay, let me do that again. Cold trade. Buy 7 shares. Day order. Market price. Buy. Submit order. Submitted. Suppose the order's pending for it to go through on my paper trade account. I'm going to be reviewing those every day as well, seeing how everyone's doing, because those trades are like public to the other people in our challenge, so we can all see what everyone's doing, and it will be very interesting to see how everyone is doing, and what they're buying and what their strategy is. And see how many people are YOLO and learn a lesson. That's good. Yeah, $200. $200 per trade is decent too. That's lower risk. That's good, and you can always keep cash on the side, and you can always add to your positions in those trades with that extra cash you have on the side when you feel the time is right. NVIDIA is just a weird chart for today, huh? Oh God, someone's up 7% on our rankings already. Wow, looks like there's going to be some competition here, Pooks, in this challenge. I know this is the first time I use this virtual market, challenge. I did get this information, I think, from Porter House, and I reviewed it. And I don't know how long it takes for the orders to be filled, but this is the first time using it, right, for us. Pretty cool, pretty cool little virtual stock exchange challenge that they do, though. I believe it at the moment. My order's taken forever to fill. Oh, it filled. Okay, it filled. So maybe it takes a couple of minutes. But I'm red. 77 cents in the negative. Not sure if I can recover, but I will try my best. The video is just funky today. Like we say, you could grab from the bottom here on this engulfing, played it up in the reversal. But right here, it's just there's no juice here to make it go higher. I mean, we are holding this green line, so that's also a positive. That 120-ish level. But I need some more more girth here. Give us some more volume. Then get that next leg up to 121. Take out those highs. Because right now that's indecision mode. Look at these candles. Indecision right here. I'm just sneaking in the background, guys, just looking at these this ranking already. Yeah. Let me see here. Didn't fill anything pre-market. Pre-market's not going to fill, so that's going to fill during market hours only. On that paper trading, I'm not in last place anymore. I'm in the red as well right now, but there is. I like to see that there is a few people in this trading challenge that haven't taken any position. That's also can be a smart move too. So, hats off to you guys, not just jumping into trades. Have a look at some of these day trades here. These top runners. Looking at some sellouts for this week. Some that are really oversold, like this one. This is MCRB. This is day trading. This will be like a day trade, possibly a swing. It's under $1, so it's more risk to stocks being under $1 trading them. But if you have a plan in place for each one of them, then you keep the emotions out of the whole trade, right? But this one, I think Nestle are buying a part of their business. Yeah. Health science, they're buying some of their assets. So we saw this drop off from 120s all the way down to 56 cents. Now I'm looking at maybe this week, if we can get over 75 over this fib retracement. This is a 25% retracement. So we got to that 25% from the low already. So I'm looking for a bigger move. If we can get over 75 cents and hold, then I think we can push, aim for the mid 80s would be my next target. Maybe the $90 range. But my entry would be above 75 cents. And then my targets would be mid 80s and then maybe the 90s. We may fully retrace all the way back up. So there's that as well. But if you're looking at some setups, this could be one of your setups. Once we get above 75 cents, play up, have a stop in place, and then play up to around 85 to 90 cents as the target. Once you're in profit, just have your stop in place, maybe raise it up to break even once you're in some good profit, so you don't have that risk on the table anymore. Where back. One with 850 worth of white stuff. I think interesting to see it. $850. That's a kind of a YOLO trade right there with $1,000 account, $850 worth of Microsoft. Oh my lord. There's gonna be some paddles out there today. And back is down. Hertz is down. What's Snowflake doing? What's Snowflake at? $125 it hit this morning. That was quite the sell-off. Quite the sell-off there. Now, ideally, if we can, 122 and then 110 are my levels to possibly add to my position. I'll probably like 110 and just skip the 122 if we come down there and just aim for that 110, get a lower average and aim for this to add big. But Snowflake's AI technology and their cloud business, it's growing. I think if we can get it all the way down to that 110 again, that's a pretty good deal to play this back on the reversal. So having a look at all these runners pre-market. Any good news for them, or they're just fluff news? Let's see what this one got bagged. 48 million subcontract from Canada to upgrade the Army's systems. Don't have much cash on hand. This will be interesting. So this is KWE. They had some news with a contract that they got from the Canadian government for the Army. I would be looking at a clear of this level here, so around above 75.30. Once we start pushing above that, then a good entry I think would be there, and then targeted and VWAP. So if you enter around 75.50, I would grab it there and aim for around 85 as a target. And then my stop would probably be around 70 cents. So your target will be 10 cents per share target, and your stop would be around 5 cents. So that risk reward is pretty decent there. That's only if we get above this red line, right? It's not active until then. It could continue to sell off all day long, go all the way back down again. So it's not active until we get above 75.30, and then trade it up to 85 if we get some momentum there. So that's our day trade for equities. And then DSY, this is one that a big tree cloud. This is a weird name, but this was a SPAC deal. You can tell it was a SPAC deal because you go to the bigger time frames, you see it fall off a cliff. Once the merger happens with the SPAC, you normally see this kind of thing, even a pump and then a dump right away. And it can dump for many weeks before it finds the bottom. But this one is up 117% today. I'll be looking at, let me see here. It went as high as 658. So it has some, we know that it had a nice pump pre-market. So I'll be looking at clearance above, at least has to get above this level. So above like 470 for me to flip it to like more of a bullish move. So I'd like to get it above that level on the equity side, above 470, and then play it to a 5+ again. Excuse me. Okay, so it's 10:40. I'm gonna jump off now. Let me look at the video before I jump off. It was just an easy little stream here, but it is working out. Looks like a nice bounce off the 120 range. Target is 121 for the calls, and then if we get above 121, let's see what else we got. Got wicks up here, but if it really gets some girth here, then I would likely aim for next target. What is this? 121.70 would be my next target if we get through 121. Play more upside. So first target 121. If we get through 121 and take out high of day, then I would aim for 121.70 would be my next target for NVDA calls. Other than that, I'm going to jump off, guys. It was a chill session Monday, just watching the video, looking at some setups. But we'll be back again tomorrow for market open trading. So I will see all of you guys then. I believe it's bull tomorrow. So we'll see you guys then, okay? Bye, guys.